Hi, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Deidre Jordan, and today our focus is on foam rolling. Some of you already may know how to do this or hopefully do it, and if you don't, it is something you should definitely consider. It is a very important part of the workout, especially if you're a runner and if you're experiencing sore knees or hips. It is probably because you're not taking the time to do foam rolling, which has the effect of a deep tissue massage. So I'm going to walk us through the entire process from start to finish. We're going to get a lot of lower body and some upper body at the end, which will be a nice massage for your back. So let's go ahead and get started. There are different types of foam rollers. The black one here that I have is quite firm. If you have not done foam rolling before, you might want to start with a squishier or softer version. There's a white styrofoam, or if you will, version that has a little bit of give to it, because I'm not going to lie, it is not pleasant. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more you'll miss it when you don't do it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Get my roller down here. Basically, with foam rolling, there's no reason to ever roll over bones. It's all soft tissue. So it's designed to dig in there and relax all the tightness that's going on underneath the surface. So if you start with the foam roller right about the tops of your thighs, and we're going to very slowly roll the entire length of our quads or top of the thigh. So I'm going to use my forearms to pull myself along. And when you find a tender spot, you want to linger back and forth over it and give it a chance to release. You want to do all this without holding your breath. And about 5 or 10 passes, or until you feel good relief, is a good rule of thumb to use. So just rolling very slowly, and I can kind of use my feet to move me back and forth as well as my forearms. Okay, or you could try bending at the knees. For some, they say that feels a little bit more intense. We're going to go a couple more passes here. So when you stand up and walk away from a foam rolling session, you won't believe how good you can feel once you get used to it. You need to be diligent with this at least every other day until it becomes more of a maintenance thing, and then you don't have to do it all the time, but you might want to. The next one is the one I referred to earlier, the IT band or iliotibial band, which runs down the side of the leg, is a prime spot for wreaking havoc with knees and hips. If it gets tight, it can really mess you up. So we're going to start below the hip. And if you have legs stacked, that's more intense. You could have a foot behind or a foot in front to help move you along the outside of the thigh. So I'm also using my hands to kind of push myself along or pull myself. And you want to stop when you're above the outside of the knee. Never go over here, right here. You want to stop just right about here, but do try to get way down there because there are usually a lot of choice spots right in there. So moving along. And this is probably the toughest spot to hit, but like I said, the more you do it, the more used to it you will be, and it won't be such a chore. So here again, about 5 passes or so. And I'm going to switch over and hit the other side here. If you have a small foam roller, for these movements, like a short one, this will work just fine. But once we get to the upper body, I'll show you where you might want to invest in a long foam roller, unless you already have one, hopefully so. Okay, so again, kind of using my forearm and my hand to move me along. I can use my feet also to kind of move me forward and back. One side's usually a little bit more tender than the rest. I think I just found mine. All right, so we're about done right there. Next thing, I'm going to turn my roller so I'm facing you. This one moves on for the hips. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn your roller this way, and you're just going to sit right up on top of that roller. And then I'm going to lower myself down. So I'm working my right hip here, or your left hip, down to my forearm behind me. The easy way to start this is you're going to have both knees bent and splayed. And I'm just trying to hit all the soft tissue in my glute and around my hip. So as I go, I want to try to prop my ankle up on top of the other thigh. So I'm not only rolling back and forth, I'm kind of doing a little side to side motion here. Again, just trying to hit all that soft tissue. So hopefully you're doing this along with me, or you'll play this again after you get your own roller. And you want to roll clear up to the waistband of your pants, because again, some choice spots that are just tight and you don't even know that they're there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side now. So flipping over, and if you're just getting started, totally fine to not prop that ankle up. You can just kind of, like I said, move forward and backward, a little bit of side to side, and I'm going to do a few passes here with my ankle propped up. Another thing to think about, if your ankle is propped up, you want to pull this knee towards the floor to help that hip open up as you loosen up all those areas. All right, moving on to calves. I'm going to switch the position of my roller again. So you're just going to start from basically near the Achilles up to the meaty part of your calf, no further. Never roll behind your knee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hike myself up here, and I'm breaking this into two zones with my calf. So zone 1 would be right here, and zone 2 would be here. So I can just focus on that small little area right there, kind of move myself along. And then zone 2, I would move myself forward, starting with the roller at about mid-calf, and then back and forth like so. If you get to doing this and you say, well, I don't really feel much, go ahead and prop one leg on top of the other, and much more intense that way. Furthermore, if you have any issues with your shoulders and you can't hold yourself up like that to do this one, I'm going to show you the windshield wiper version, which is goofy looking but very effective. So I'm going to take my legs fairly wide, and I'm going to lay back, and what I'm going to use my feet kind of as windshield wipers. So that's a good name for this one. And you want to be just as floppy as you can be with your feet. All the motion is occurring up at my hips. I'm internally and externally rotating, okay? So then I stop and I move the roller actively a little further up my calves. And again, 10, 15, or even 20 back and forths, like so. And then up a little bit higher. And the higher you get, the more intense it will become. And you don't have to worry about propping yourself up that way. So lastly, right up here, that's the windshield wiper for calves. All right, so we've hit a good bit of lower body here. We've gotten the quads, the IT bands, the hips, and the calves. And now we're gonna get to the good stuff. This next bit here, you're gonna be on your back. This is where you need the long foam roller that I was talking about earlier. You're gonna sit at the edge and then lay back so your head has support here. Your knees will be bent. So I'm just gonna hike myself up here and then scoot down so I have plenty of room for my head. And we're gonna do 3 different positions here. This first one, as you just let your shoulder blades kind of drift to the floor, you're gonna reach up to the ceiling, and then you're gonna bend at the elbows. The eventual goal is to get your elbows to the floor, and you can see I've gotten that, but it took me a while. So we're gonna reach up, pull the elbows down, rock your hands back. You'll feel a great stretch across your chest here. I'm gonna do 4 more. Inhale up, exhale down, rock those hands back. And 3 more, deep breath in. Exhale, try to get those elbows towards the floor. Don't push it, you don't wanna go to pain. You just wanna feel that nice stretch. And 2 more here. Elbows down, rock the hands back. And 1 more time, breathe in, out, and rock the hands back. This next one, it looks a bit like a snow angel. I'm gonna move over so I have room for my arms here. And you start with your hands down by your hips, your palms are facing the floor. You're gonna take your arms up over your head. The eventual goal here to get the back of your hands to be able to touch the floor. From here, I'm gonna sweep my long arms down, palms facing up to my hips, flip my hands over to my starting position, and then repeat. So as you do this, you're gonna feel that roller massaging your back, and you're also gonna create a lot more shoulder mobility for yourself. I can't say enough about the importance of foam rolling and how good it can feel if you do it often enough and properly. Okay, and let's go just one more time. Nice and easy, keeping my arms long, my palms are facing up. Flip my hands over, last thing. And I'm going to show us our last one here. We are doing shoulder rolls, basically. The elbows are leading. We're going to place our fingertips on our shoulders or as close as you can get to them. And with your elbows leading, you're going to make nice big circles from back to front. Okay. I have a hard time deciding which one of these feels best because they all feel so good. And let's go 3 more from back to front. And you could easily do 10 each way. And 1 more here. And now we're going to finish from front to back. So the goal to have my elbows graze the floor as they come through. Nice big circles. Feeling those shoulders just loosen up. And last one. And then you can always just hang out there for a while. Close your eyes as you feel your shoulder blades drifting to the floor. So that is your foam rolling demo. I really hope you'll give it a try and hope you're having a great day. Thank you.